Shadow and I are on our way to try to find some petroglyphs that a friend of mine told me about. They're not on a map. You can't find them by Googling. He gave me some directions. I'm hoping we can find them. Let's go see what we can do. No, don't start digging already. That dog, first thing he does whenever we get out of the truck is start digging a hole. I just stopped to let him run around a little bit. So this tip that I got today was from a friend of mine at church. Andrew, thank you. We have pretty vague directions, so we'll do the best we can. All right, Shadow, let's get back in the truck. Up you go. Good boy. All right, let's keep moving. All right, we're gonna park right here. This is as muddy and sandy as I care to go through, because even with four-wheel drive you can get stuck, and I don't want to get stuck. I'm thinking we're going to start right up there in what looks like a cave up there, and then if they're not there, I would say around the other side there looked like there were some caves, and typically you'll find the petroglyphs on what they call Desert Varnish. It's kind of a black coating on the red sandstone, and it's a little bit mysterious about how it grows on there, but it's some kind of a chemical reaction that does include bacterium and sunlight. So that's what they typically will carve their petroglyphs in, so we want to look for that too. So whenever I come out to these areas, I try to put my thinking cap on. You know, if I lived here 1,000 years ago, where would I seek shelter? And caves and ledges are the obvious choices, but they also have to be accessible. So I think for that to be accessible, we've got to get up to where we can walk along that ledge up there. We'll give it a try. There's Simba overlooking his domain. Okay, we made it to here. So let's just see. That's the Desert Varnish I was telling you about. That's a good example of it right there. That's a great example right there of the Desert Varnish. All right, I'm not seeing any petroglyphs around here. The cave is below me. I would think I would see some petroglyphs on some of this Desert Varnish around here, if this was the spot. And so far I'm not. Okay, I've made it here. And I think we're striking out. That something's home, but no petroglyphs. All right, so I'm gonna go back down and then down that way. Son of a gun. Okay. All right, we'll keep hunting. Okay, strike one. We made our way down from that cave complex up there, and nothing. So we're going to walk up this hill and then back down and then back up to the next cave complex that looked most likely. So wish us luck. I'm going with my hunch. I made another video where we found petroglyphs inside of a slot canyon. You'll see if you watch it. My hunch got me wrong several times before we finally found the slot canyon. But these things aren't easy to find, so maybe more important than a hunch is persistence. So persistence usually pays off. All right, we've made it all the way up to the top of this road where now it starts to curve. I'm hoping maybe they're up in these rocks somewhere. There's a really cool cave way up there. All right, we made it up to this overhang, and there's no petroglyphs here. I can see that. So, where might they be? That is really cool. That is really cool. Definitely a nice little cover from rain and such, but no petroglyphs. Okay, well, down we go again. He's pretty good at picking a trail. I'm going to follow him. Huh. Huh, 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 huh. Where are the petroglyphs? There's a storm coming in. I'm going to start heading back to the truck, and we might make one more excursion off this trail. All right, we've done a lot of hiking and we've seen some beautiful country, really beautiful country, but that's what I'm afraid of. That storm right out there. You can see I'm parked down there through those trees, so I got to make my way there, and I'm gonna unfortunately pack it out of here because I do not want to get stuck in the mud. And these roads, this red sandy stuff, well, this red sand, when it gets wet and watery, it's really slippery. People get stuck out here with four-wheel drive all the time, so I don't want to risk it. So now that we're on some decent road, I've got myself thinking, we've got daylight left. I just didn't want to get stuck up there on those high pass, narrow, muddy roads. But there are some other petroglyphs that are not quite so far off the beaten path that I've never been to before, and I'd like to see those, and I think we could find them. They're up around Gunlock Reservoir, and I understand there's quite a few up higher up in the hills above the reservoir. So let's go check them out. Let's see if we can find some petroglyphs after all. All right, this is determination. We found a place to park below. I believe this trail is the trail that will lead us to petroglyphs. Well, if not, we'll have had a crazy day. We've driven all over and we'll have hiked all over, but I think we're gonna find them this time. Yes, sirree. I think we are. They're gonna be on the rock like that. These petroglyphs, instead of being on Desert Varnish, my understanding is that they are on basalt. That is sandstone. Basalt is that lava formed rock up there on the top. There's a series of cinder cones, all part of the same volcanic complex, just over those hills around Veyo, Utah. And they produced big, huge flows. And the flows covered what was sandstone. It covered it. I mean, you see big pieces of basalt, and you wonder, how did they get there? Well, they were once up higher. This was all higher and it was all covered. But then over the many years, water eroded and wind, and it caused, ravines and so forth to erode the soft sandstone, and then the basalt would crumble and fall below. So you have basalt all over the place here. And there you go. Our first petroglyph. There we go, right there. Petroglyph number 1. You're not supposed to touch them with your fingers because the acid can kind of hurt them a little bit. So I'm not touching, even though I've got gloves on. All right, I'm going to look around for some more. Ooh, right over here. There we go. A series of petroglyphs. Little feet. 1, 2, 3 foot marks there, footprints are carved in. Hand there. I think that's a hand. So this is my theory on the hands. You see hands with 4 fingers, 5 fingers, 6 fingers, 7 fingers. I think that's how they counted. People count with their hands even today, right? So if you didn't have a number system, well then just draw a little hand with 4 fingers if the number's 4, or 6 fingers if the number's 6. Everybody knows what that means. That's what I think. Look at this one. Oh wow. That is really, really spectacular. And that I would love to know, what that means. It's circular, and then it continues on down, all the way down there. So here's a foot with 1, 2, 3, 4 toes. That looks like a mountain goat, and that too. That looks like a duck, doesn't it? And here's some more over here. Oh, look. One of the ancient Americans' initials were JP. That's really awful that somebody would do that. Okay, we're finding petroglyphs. That's what we've been spending all day long in search of, petroglyphs. We're finding them. Very interesting. Oh my gosh, look at that. Oh wow. We walked right over it. We walked around it from there. Came around there. Look at that. Wow. See, back to these fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 fingers. Wow. Man, this rock is covered with petroglyphs. Beautiful ones. And it looks like part of it broke off, that it was bigger at one time. Really cool. Wow. Okay, let's keep looking. Shadow, look for the pretty little marks on rocks. Some here. Snake-like figure. I want to say that one on the left looks like a mountain goat, but then it has a great big tail. Big bushy tail, so I have no idea. So the volcanoes that I was telling you about are all over there. Their eruptions were approximately 30,000 years ago. So it's not that long ago in geologic time. And the rock shows it. It's relatively young. Look how cool that is. Wow. Really, really awesome. Shadow, you're standing on a priceless petroglyph. And what is he fixated on? Cows. 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 These are priceless petroglyphs, and you're fixated on cows? Well, we had a great time. Really glad you came along with us. If you made it all the way to the end, really enjoyed having you come along. Hope you join us for going on future adventures. We do all kinds, whether it's looking for petroglyphs or whether it's astrophotography and peering into the cosmos, or rock hounding and finding agates and jaspers and chalcedonies and different kinds of beautiful gems and rocks. This is a great part of the world to do that. So we hope you come along with us in the future. See you later.